Fallout 76 has one big problem, that being the elements that essentially make Fallout might not be present in this game. And this is a big problem because a lot of players are going to go into Fallout expecting a Fallout experience, which is what they're not going to get. Fallout is usually a story single-player driven RPG, but that's not what Fallout 76 is going to be. It is going to be a survival game more akin to games like Rust and Ark Survival Evolved. And see, this is a problem because there's going to be two kinds of groups of players that are going to be playing Fallout 76. The old kind of people that play the old Fallout games, or just Fallout 4 and all those kind of games where they're story-driven RPG experiences, and they're going to go into it expecting a bit of story, a bit of RPG elements, and all those different things. And then you're going to have the people that are okay with the new style of game, the base building and all that kind of stuff, this survival experience that Fallout 76 is going for. Unless both groups get what they want, Fallout 76 will not be as successful as it could be if it's not met with that. And this brings us to the first problem. Story elements in a Fallout game are necessary. It's part of what Fallout's identity is. So if you take away those story elements, you lose a big part of what makes Fallout essentially Fallout. And the problem is, in the gameplay trailer that we did get, and the amount of gameplay we got at E3, we saw not a single NPC quest giver kind of character anywhere in the trailer, which is a big kind of red flag that is saying this is mainly just going to be a survival-focused game and no story-driven elements whatsoever, maybe some really, really basic questing system. And this is a problem, because this is a big part of what Fallout is. It needs questing, it needs story, it needs those elements to be a Fallout game. And it doesn't look like it's going to be present in the game from what we've seen so far. It doesn't mean it won't be, it just doesn't look like it at this point. And this brings us to our next problem. The nuclear bomb feature that they mentioned is a huge big red flag to me, because this is a bit of an issue. Essentially what it is, if you didn't see it in the trailer, essentially you collect these codes that you'll have to work with other players to get, and essentially form one big code to essentially fire off a nuclear bomb which you can target any point of the map and explode a large portion of the map. So this just, being a multiplayer game, people can kind of be dicks. No offense to people, but it's true. So this leads a lot of problems that it'll cause, like you just say you're working really, really hard on building a base. You spent ages and then it just gets blown up. It's like, great, thanks for that, didn't need that. And that just doesn't sound like a very fun experience to me. Now, from the way they've said and described things about it, it doesn't sound like it's going to be a huge issue, but it's still going to be something that can potentially happen at some point, and it's going to be incredibly annoying and will ruin a lot of people's Fallout 76 experience. Fallout 76 has a lot to live up to being a Bethesda game. It has a lot to work towards and a lot to basically do. If it doesn't meet a certain level of standard that we've come to know in these kind of games, then it's going to flop hard. And this is a big issue with Bethesda games. Like, we expect so much from them. Even though their engine's kind of crappy and stuff nowadays, we still expect the games to be good, have a lot of story experience. And the problem is, like Skyrim, even though it's not part of the Fallout series, it set the standard for their games, and if it's nothing short of that, then it's not going to be a super incredible game and won't be liked as much, which is an issue. Also, a lot of people are very skeptical about Fallout 76 because they're worried that it's not going to be the experience that they're going to want, and that it's not going to be the standard Fallout 76 experience. And this is an issue. Bethesda has a really big thing they have to do right now. They essentially have to meet the requirements of both the groups that I mentioned earlier in the video. The people who want the old Fallout experience and the new Fallout experience, and they have to meet both of those groups in order for the game to succeed. Otherwise, one portion of the player base that likes the old RPG elements is going to go away, or vice versa the other way around. And they've got to nail both of them, otherwise it's not going to be a very successful game. And this is a problem that they have to deal with during the making of this game, which they're already very far into. So it's like, if they haven't done either one of those, then they can't really correct that at this point, since the game's going to be coming out in a couple of months. And yet again, we don't know. We're only going off what we've seen in the trailers, so that's that, I guess. But the thing is, like, what we have seen has shown quite a few red flags, and what they've kind of told us at this point is pointed out quite a few red flags that indicate that it's not going to be the Fallout 76 experience people want. And most of those are pointing towards not many story elements, or no story elements, and no RPG as much as well. So this is an issue. Hopefully we'll get to know and find out all this stuff when the game is actually released. So we'll keep our hopes up until then. Without further ado, guys, hopefully you enjoyed today's video. I'll be making more of these kind of style of videos in the future, and I'll see you guys later.